All right, let's get into part two of my episode of the Country Wayne skits. When it comes to the situation, like I said with Shayla, it's bipolar. I don't care what nobody says, absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt bipolar. Because the fact that she doesn't comprehend what she's done is wrong, that's bipolar. And her mom, I get, like I said, I get her, and I even understand why she's handling things the way she does because she's scared of how Shayla's gonna react to it. But where is her medication? You might want to take her to therapy or get her a coach. Because what are you gonna do, Angeline, if he goes back to Amber or if he leaves Shayla for PR? Chase still hasn't confronted him about what happened with Shayla when it came to Candace. But I love how that lawyer said we're going to have to look into it to see whether Amber cheated while they were married. Now, like I said, can he get a non-contested divorce? He could. But is it going to be something where he going to leave unscathed? No. Because Amber didn't cheat while they were married. Unless that woman finds something showing that was the case. If it come out that she slept with Wayne during that marriage, I don't want y'all to, I don't even want to hear nobody say nothing. Y'all better give her the same energy y'all give Anthony. That's all I know. When it comes to Zoe's dad finally coming in town, that was hilarious. The way he went off on Dawn, and everything he said was true, because the fact that he left her with you and you gave her straight to Natasha, which is how this happened in the first place. Wait till Natasha tell him that is her ex and how all of this happened. That's why Dawn don't want him to talk to Natasha. And she don't want her to talk to Natasha because she don't want them to get back together. We already know, girl. You jealous of your sister. We already know. Honey, Natasha's the one that always gets the opportunities, and that girl is jealous of her sister. But wait till Natasha tell her everything. That's going to be interesting when she finally sees him. And that's going to be interesting. And then it's going to be interesting when he meet Charles. That's going to be epic. But yeah, shout out to Charles for letting Natasha, giving her a safe haven. Because Natasha needs a safe haven with them family members she got. She needs a safe haven. How she ends up the way she is now, it explains a lot about the Natasha we originally met and how Natasha has grown. I'm glad she put her hair down. I'm glad thanks to Shania, we get to see a different side of Natasha. Thank God for that. But when it come down to D and his mother, I'm loving how he's going in a different direction. I'm loving that. I think it's great. But like I said, I think D gonna be the one to give him that money to pay off that guy. And then he gonna tell him on the condition that he leave Tamara alone. Somebody gonna give him the money, but I think it's gonna be D that's gonna give him the money because Tamara ain't got that money. And Tamara, they're not gonna be able to get out of that studio because he paid up to a year. It's a contract. You can't break the contract, honey. How are you gonna pay it and you ain't got no job? You can barely pay your bills as it is. Girl, just go on back to the studio. Once D take care of it, you can go back to your studio and do whatever it is you need to do. And then a year, you can move within a year. But like I told y'all, I don't think D Mama gonna like her. And I think Asha gonna do everything she can to make sure that girl hate her. That's gonna be interesting. When it comes to Jocelyn and Ralphie, I love seeing them together. I'm glad when they get together. As for Sonny and Mike, it's good to see them together. But Mike, you're going to have to get rid of Melissa. You're going to have to get rid of them. But Sonny, you're in the same position as Shayla's in. And you might as well go ahead on and get out. As for, the situation with Hulk and Mike, Hulk, just let it go. The girl is for the streets anyway. He did you a favor. Not actuality. He did you a favor. As for, Yolanda and the woman that's supposed to be helping out, that the guy that's supposed to be the PI, the one that Brittany know, You know, I'm glad to see that they know each other and roll. We seen roll with different type of people. Now, as for the other Melissa, the one that was sitting there talking to Brittany, the only reason you asked about Rolanda is because you want something over Rolanda. You still don't like Rolanda for that whole situation. And and you know it's only a matter of time before David and Rolanda end up getting together, because Muhammad is not somebody she need to be involved with. And the only reason she dealing with Muhammad is for so David's book can come out. So that's why she's doing all of this for that reason. As for D-Boy, you surprised about this woman sitting up here looking at you, wondering who you are and how this don't look good for Rolanda. Get them out your house, girl. Get them out your house, because they about to cause problems. You need to get Malachi out that house, and you need to get D-Boy out that house. But like I said, I don't think old girl was around Brittany for that reason. I just think it has something to do with her trying to get back into the door with Rolanda and her jealousy of Rolanda. That's just my thoughts on that. When it comes to Sherman and the fact that Sherman's wife got confronted, are you surprised? Eventually, Sherman gonna find out the truth. His wife is cheating. It's gonna come out. It's gonna come out about her cheating than it is his. But I think in the end, she gonna find out that he's been cheating, that he been messing around with somebody. Eventually, it's gonna come out. As for the situation with Frank, I can't think of nothing with Frank right now. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? But I mean, do I like Shayla and her mother's relationship? I do. I think they have a great relationship, but the way she treats Zachary, I think it's because Zachary's more independent and Shayla is more, like I said, needy. Like I said, because of bipolar disorder. But when it comes to Jocelyn and that situation with Dom and the fact that Crystal is now sitting in jail, when she put her hands on Glow, you should have just said, you know what, let me go ahead on and call her. That's what you should have said. You should have said, well, look, just tell me what happened, what was said, instead of you assuming that her and Terry were having that conversation. You should have got more details, so that way you could have went to her and said, I believe Jocelyn is telling the truth. But like I said, do I think it's a possibility Glow and Terry might be sleeping around? I wouldn't doubt it. But at the end of the day, the fact that Rashad pressed charges against that girl, and the fact that Rashad about to understand why Diva ain't somebody to play with, you about to find out soon enough why she ain't somebody to play with. Dom, you over your head when it comes to this. Jazz, that's your sister. At the end of the day, I get you want to work for Dom, but at the end of the day, that is your sister. And you know that Terry is doing what he doing. Terry is doing all of this on purpose. Because like I said, he wants Dominique to where he can control her. And like I said, I got a feeling he's going to end up being violent. Because stuff like this always ends up turning into domestic violence. And the fact that she's finding all these women, girl, look at the signs. The man is playing your face and you don't even see it. And I think she literally going to catch him with somebody. And I hope it's going to be Glow he catching with. Because that way she'll realize that that man wasn't doing nothing but playing her face. So hopefully she'll figure it out sooner or later. But Dom, you ain't gonna want to mess with Jocelyn. All I know is when you find out the truth about all of this, you have to put your tail between your legs and you have to go right back to her and apologize. And even though Jocelyn may forgive you, y'all friendship ain't never gonna be the same. It just ain't. Cause like I said, that's your friend you've known. Why would you believe him over her? Considering how long you've known her. That's crazy. But like I said, we'll have to just wait and see what happens. We ain't seen Wayne lately. But we'll have to just wait and see how everything pops off. So with that being said, I think that's it. Because ain't nothing really going on right now. But until next time, I will talk to y'all later. Bye.